Noob D&D Dad here, and we are talking session 12 of the Army Veterans campaign that I am the Noob DM for in the Curse of Strahd. Okay, so quick note on the last session that I mentioned. We fought dire wolves and a werewolf, and I just wanted to say, I realized I didn't say, that the dire wolves using their pack tactics was really fun as the DM. I enjoyed getting them together and having them be stronger as a pack. So I really enjoyed running the monsters as the DM. And I'm realizing that I might be a forever DM, even though I am a noob. And so I need to find the joy where I can in DMing. So that's what I'm doing. Now, ideally, the night before each session, I go through and I look at where the players are on the map, and I think, where could they possibly go? Where do I think they'll go? Where will they likely go, right? And then I try to read those areas. And my question was, how many more bad guys are going to be in this forest? And what's going to happen at the gypsy camp when they go back there? So I made my decision finally. I think it's kind of a best of both worlds. And so Irina gets resurrected. They start heading back to Volaki to take Irina there, because that was kind of their original quest. And there's the two kids going with them from the bone grinder because they don't want to go back with their parents, because their parents are trying to sell them for bone grinder snacks. Let me back up just a little bit. So when they went in to clear the forest, there were no birds chirping. And this is just a little flavor thing that I like to do when something creepy's happening. And so after they killed the last bad guy, the birds started chirping again. And I think I may be the only one that appreciated that detail. All right, so we are at the gypsy camp, which is here. And right here at I, they give you the opportunity to have the black carriage show up to try to, for whatever reason, right? The black carriage is Strahd's carriage. So the book says, parked at the fork in the road, pointed east, is a large black carriage drawn by two black horses. The horses snort puffs of steamy breath into the chill mountain air. The side door of the carriage swings open silently. And that's kind of all it says. And so I made up something that comes next. So inside, so there's no driver and there's no one in the carriage. So the door swings open and there's a rolled up piece of parchment with Strahd's seal on it sitting on the chair. And the players were arguing amongst themselves if they should even touch it or not, because they think I'm devious, or they think the book is devious. I don't know. Finally, one of them's like, no, I want to grab it and read it. I want to see what's in there. So here's what I had the scroll say. I had it say, kindly put Irina into the carriage and do not meddle with my affairs. And then it's signed Strahd von Zarovich. The players, of course, don't want to comply, right? We have two lawful good in the party, so no, they want to do it. And the druid writes on the paper no and puts it back in the carriage. The door closes and it rides off. So I feel like that was a good Strahd touch point, where I'm maybe still not quite ready to run Strahd in full force. I really wanted to plant the seeds that he's in the world and he's scary, because up till now I think I had him give them like a care package earlier, and they're like, is this guy supposed to be bad? And I'm like, yeah, I gotta make this guy more bad. So I didn't quite want to kill the whole camp. I didn't quite want to have her be abducted. So I kind of was just like, let's let the players go about searching for their items that they did in the card reading. But let's have a little bit of sinister. So that's what I thought. What do you think? Oh, this is going back a little bit again. So looting the dire wolves and the werewolf, I had them roll on this table in the new DM guide on page 120, which I've been really enjoying, which is adventure rewards. So since it was kind of a group of monsters, I had it be a treasure hoard, CR levels 0 through 4, and magic item 1d4 minus 1. So they rolled a 2, so 1 magic item, and then they rolled a 99 for rarity from this table. Page 218, magic item. So I had them roll from this one, which right now they're level 4, and the monsters were that level 2, and he rolled a 99. So it's going to be a rare. And then what did we roll? We rolled a 54, which came up as a Mace of Disruption. And then I had him roll the coinage. We got 700 gold, and I decided to have it be 7 leather bags of 100 gold. So yeah, Mace of Disruption is pretty cool, and if you read its description, it actually really, really fits into the Curse of Strahd campaign. It has light that spreads out from it, but I don't think it counts as sunlight, so I don't think it's gonna, the light is specifically gonna bug the vampires, but it's still cool, and it's an amazing weapon for this area. So starting to wonder if all this like random loot rolling is gonna totally just overshadow how cool the weapons and items are that they're supposed to be out getting to fight Strahd. So I don't know if I'm shooting myself in the foot here, but I like to reward them. It's fun for me too. Oh, I didn't even address the thing that I was totally wondering about last session. So we're totally just going with the new monster manual, and we retconned the guy getting bit by the werewolf and turning into a werewolf. We're just like, nope, you killed it because he wanted to turn into a werewolf so that he could have werewolf powers, and we're just like, nope, we're going to use the new rules, which basically nerfs that and makes it so the DM just takes over and your character's gone. So that's how we resolve that. Okay, and then as they are traveling from, where are they? Here. So here's where they saw the black carriage, and then they go through here, and then note right here is where they had the bone grinder where they fought the hags, and Irina died from a lightning strike. But the hags are defeated, but the townsfolk don't know this, and so they are still bringing their children there to sell for the goodies. And so just for like flavor text, as the players are riding by, they look left to where the tower is, and they see parents with their children all milling about, and the parents have addict eyes, and they have their children, and they're carrying them around desperately. And they're kind of just milling about because they went there obviously to deliver their kids, but there's no hags to give them treats. And so they're just desperately wandering around with their kids, and there's a bunch of them too. And so the players are like, should we like help these kids? And they're like, I'm not going to separate them from their parents. So it's just really cool to present this visual thing to them, which I honestly meant nothing for it. If they would have decided to pick up the kids and take them somewhere, I would have had to invent what to do next. And so it was really fun to just invent this thing. It's kind of a morally ambiguous decision / just something to look at, which I really enjoy as the DM, painting a picture, giving them something to look at and decisions to make. Now, by Lake Zarovich, they blew right by the clearing, and they did not want to look over there, and so I didn't really have a chance to do the rowboat with the guy throwing the girl in the water as a sacrifice. I didn't really get to do that because they really didn't look over there, and I'm like, I don't just want to grab their head and turn it everywhere. You know, sometimes I do, but I don't want to do it all the time. So in the chapter of Vallaki, it allows for the mystery of this missing girl as well. So if they want to go try to figure that out, they can. But yeah, they just blew right by it. They wanted to get to Vallaki. And they were also surprised that I didn't do a random encounter. And I have to do a little bit of balance because they just did several sessions of combat in the forest. And so I really wanted to get back into the role play and the story. And they were complaining about all the combat. And then on the way there, they're complaining that there wasn't a combat encounter. So it's just like, oh gosh, you guys, will you ever be happy? I don't know. I'm trying my best. So they get to Vallaki. They deliver Irina, the kids, and Ismark. And Ismark is basically like, he's like, thank you so much. I'll never forget this. And then he's like, are you guys good? As in like, can you navigate your way around Vallaki, or do you need a guide? And they're like, yep, we're good. I think they ask where they can go, where the store is, right? So then they take off, they separate, which is fine. And now as the DM, I didn't do this at the time, but I think I might want to reward some XP, not like a level, but some XP for doing this delivery. I think that was actually a pretty cool feat that they did. But the players wanted to sell stuff, and the chapter on Vallaki is huge in this book. Like, they're like, where's the store? And I'm like flipping through pages. I'm like, where is the store? Vallaki is gigantic. This book, this Curse of Strahd book, I've already said it, but like as a noob DM, this is hard. This is really stretching me. So what I really need to do is I just need to dig in and just read more, and I need to read on repeat, and I need to watch more of the videos where people are basically like narrating the story. to just help internalize it so that I can kind of improv with it more. So the players go through the town gate. I have them find the Von Richten's wagon and also the general store. And the general store says anything in adventuring gear that's 25 gold and below, and then anything, that's what they sell, and then anything that they will, if you want to buy anything there, you have to pay 5 times the price. And it doesn't say anything about what they will buy. And so I kind of just let the players sell everything they wanted to sell there, except for, I think, a few magic items or potions or something. But I definitely cut the price down to like a fourth. So I let them sell the plate armor for 500 each that the player had taken from the death house. There was 3 full sets of plate armor that he took out of there, that I let him take out of there. And he's been carrying them around on this magic broom. So I let him sell those for 500 each. Studded gold, studded leather, I let him sell for 12 gold. A staff, I let him sell for 5. A +1 dagger, a longsword, and a greatsword, I let him sell for 43 total. And then 2 short swords, or a short sword and a silvered short sword. The short sword was 2 gold, and the silvered one I did for 75 because I want to paint a picture that a silvered weapon is very valuable in this area. So I kind of went above my normal pricing convention. And then they were trying to sell gems, and I'm like, I think the general store is not going to buy gems. So they're like, where's the gem store? And I'm like, so they were at this place here at the N5. So I'm like, the gem store is right there. It's that building right by the wall. And then I'm like, and the gem store owner is this guy with a big beard and a leather apron. And my friend, like, I think he's trying to be funny, but he's like, we don't care about that. Like, let's just sell stuff. And it's like, do you want to play D&D or not? Like, kind of rushing me here. It's a little frustrating. But we sold, I let him just sell the stones, moonstones, carnelians, and agates, moss agates or whatever, however, agate, for just what their book value. Why not? Now, the what's his name? Goliath monk. He really wanted to get this Eldritch tattoo, which is from Tasha's Cauldron. And that thing is way cool. And he's like, is anyone in town that can do this? And I was like, I doubt it. So we found a tattoo shop that I just made up. And I'm like, okay, roll a D100. If you roll a 51 or above, this guy will know how to do this tattoo. He didn't. He failed it. So I was like, no, he doesn't know how to do it. Maybe in the future he will. Is that lame, leaving that kind of stuff to chance? Let me know, because I am totally new, and I think this was my first time doing something like that specifically. And I was going to have the tattoo cost 1,000 gold if he had the ability to do it. Okay, and once again, the players catch me off guard with, and I'm trying to let this game be very sandboxy. So I'm trying to just facilitate them going wherever they want. And they catch me off guard and they want to just go to Kresk because the fold-out map kind of gives away a lot of stuff. I'm really surprised, but it's a fold-out map from the book, so it's got to be for the players, right? Anyway, so they see it and they're like, we want to go to Kresk because we think one of our items might be there. But on the way there, so let's see, here's Valaki right there. And then there's Lake Baratok, and then Kresk is in the corner. So Lake Baratok, you can see that tower at spot V. So that's like Von Richten's tower. And they go there, and so first of all, the guy with the gills, who got the dark gift of the gills from when he died, he wants to always investigate lakes. Why not? So I have him roll an investigation. He rolls a natural 20. So at that point, I basically decide that he can get a common magic item. Why not? So I have him roll a d4 for what kind of item it is. Arcana, armament, implement, or a relic. And what did he roll? He rolled he got the smoke pipe monster thing so that you can basically blow smoke creatures with your pipe. Okay, now this tower is a very decrepit tower, and out front is a wagon that looks like it's in good shape, but it has mud on it, so it looks like a well-used wagon. And I haven't even got to the door yet. The door is this intricate door. It's actually a trap. And I'm trying to describe this, and I'm like, there's a wagon. And again, the player's trying to be funny, and he's like, what makes you think I want to hear about that? And it's like, I'm just trying to paint the picture so you know what decisions you can make. Anyway, so he's like, I knock on the door, and I'm like still trying to explain what's going on. And I'm not overdoing it. And I'm like, well, okay, so the door's, and he's like, I knock on the door. And then like someone else asked me a question, and then I'm like, anyway, so this wagon is like, it's in really good shape. There's mud on it and there's like a lantern, there's a lock on the door. It says keep out. I'm just trying to like say what this wagon is. And he's like, for the third time, I knock on the door. So here's the door. And if you touch the door without first disabling the trap, you get yourself lightninged. So 3 of the players failed the dexterity, 1 passed, so they took 29 and 14. And that's actually pretty big chunk of damage for their low level 4 selves. And the thing is, if you don't pass this trap, and if it happens 3 times, the tower collapses. So it's like level is over, right? Like you're done. I mean, I think I have to read more into what happens if it collapses, but I mean, like, you need to solve it. So I took a picture of the door and texted it out to our group chat so that over the week they can think of how to pass it. And my friend's already got it. He's realized that your characters just need to do the poses. You basically just need to do the poses like that. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I would have figured that out as a player. So I'm glad that I'm a DM at this point, because maybe I'm not the best riddle person. Okay, a few observations. And that's essentially it for session 12. So 1, even though it's stressful, I'm still having an absolute blast, and I am learning, and what I need to do is just read this book. My goodness. And 2, Valaki, big chapter, huge chapter. 3, these players keep me on my toes. I have no clue what they are going to do. I have no clue at any given situation what they're going to do, and that is fun for me. Okay, and this is actually a concern. So maybe it's because we're playing a new 5th edition so this is a 2014 book. But we are in the 2024 rules. And plus maybe I give out too many magic items. But I think they could probably take Strahd right now. And maybe that means I need to study him more so that I could use his abilities better and his sidekicks. But I don't, they might be able to handle him now. So maybe that's a problem. I'm probably going to have to plus him up by the time they are the appropriate level to go fight him. Which is fine. Hopefully we can have a fun final battle. And I saw on the back of the map is the castle, which is really cool, but the traps are located on it. It's like, why are you giving me this huge map, which is essentially to put on the table for the players, if you're going to put the traps on it? I do not get that. Like, that seems like a mistake in publishing. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Session 12 was a blast. I love when traps go off, when they get complacent and they don't check for traps. And I think that's funny. So I had a good time. I hope you're having a good time following me. I still need to go back. This is February 21st that I'm recording this, and the same day of the session. So I still need to go back and record sessions 1 through 8 of this campaign. So you'll see them in order, but I'm recording them out of order so that I don't lose it out of my brain. Anyway, I'm having an absolute blast. Thank you so much for watching this. I will see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.